cleaning. Think about cleaning the floor of the Pacific Ocean. And just think about it. Don't answer nothing. Just think about it. And that'll give you an idea, just that alone. Now add the Atlantic, okay? Go through all the land masses and remove all the toxins. I mean, good grief. You're talking every person that's able-bodied, to include little kids, can help. I mean, this is everybody, not just one person. You like Grandma? Yeah. You want to keep Grandma around? Yeah. You need to grab that rake and go over and rake that stuff. Okay. Kids are pretty simple. It's the adults that are the problem. They cannot get their extraordinary intellects around something as simplistic as taking care of simple problems so that they don't kill us. That's why we're using all these deadly pesticides and other things. This is why we got nuclear power, because we were too stupid to figure out that there is another way that's a lot more efficient and doesn't leave all that nice radioactivity laying around everywhere. Or, in the case of Fukushima, if it happens to mess up, it does not continue to put out nuclear radiation at the point where it will kill you. Okay? And it's increasing. I'm telling you, it's increasing. It ain't decreasing, it's increasing. The whole of the northern hemisphere is looking at dying off right now. We need to address this. Bingo.
Okay.
Thank you, Drake. And thank you, Kimberly, for giving us the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. So let's do another question, Drake, and then after this one, we'll take a break. So Sid is up next. And Sid, you're online. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, honey, very much. Drake, it's such an honor to speak to somebody who's pierced more than 6 veils. It's very unusual for me.
You're very welcome.
I'd like to tell you, actually, I don't really want to ask you any questions, sir. I'd like to talk to the 6,000 or so souls that are listening live, if you'll indulge me.
It depends on the message.
Well, the message is this. It's exactly what you've been talking about, my friend. I live in an ancient Indian area of the country here in Kentucky where Indian nations lived in peace before we came. And it's a very peaceful place, my friend. And years ago, I got back to the earth, and I cried out to God, all I want is clean air. All I want is clean water. Why is that so difficult? Within a couple minutes, a hummingbird landed on my finger. And ever since then, Drake, I've walked a whole different path because I know he's listening. We all need to stop and just turn it all off, turn all this stuff off for just a moment. We can turn it back on and get ourselves geared back to where we came from. This planet is for us, not for them. They don't even come from here, some of them. Okay? And Drake, it's in our power to take this back. Each person. You know that. You're living it. You've pierced more than 6 veils. I would say this, and I'll leave it at that. Everybody should go to YouTube, type in 8 veils, and watch that video. It's very short. Peace to you, Drake. What an honor.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sid. Much love. Alrighty. Welcome back. And we have a little less than an hour left. So quite a few questions. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that we are not going to get to all of the questions. So I will apologize right off the bat. So please, those of you who are asking questions, please keep them as succinct as possible. Kind of keep an eye on your clock, and, you could keep it to 5 to 8 minutes or something like that. We could get in a lot more questions. So, Drake, did you have a good break?
Oh, yeah. I got a play request, and let's see if you can find it. It's called Changes by Kenny Loggins.
Okay.
And it says a whole bunch of things that people need to hear. I also like that song I've got on my website called America. So So
Okay.
that's something else that you need to consider. Those two, a couple of my favorites.
All right, thank you. You can tell me more. I can add them to the playlist.
Okay.
All right, we have Buck standing by here. Hello, Buck. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Drake, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Back a month or 6 weeks ago, you did an interview with David Wilcox. And on that, he was talking a great deal about divine intervention, things that have been taking place already. And my question is this. It's kind of a two or threefold here. Does the military, our military, the guys that contacted you after you did the paperwork at The Hague, do they believe that there is a superior ET/angel existence? And does the cabal, do either one of those two entities believe that these ETs exist?
Okay. And very simply, you got two kinds of ETs. You got the good ones and the bad ones. Good guys work with the good ones. Bad guys work with the bad ones. The bad ones are both interbred with us and walking among us to some extent. And these things are purely evil entities. They see us as a disease that needs to be wiped out. The good ETs understand considerably different and differently than the bad ETs. Bad ETs are out for whatever they can get. Primarily worship is what they're looking for. The good ETs aren't interested in that at all. The good ETs have been sent by higher authority, and as I'll almost call it, to be our benefactors and assistants. The problem people have with it is that if something lands in a space ship in the front yard, they freak out. Well, yeah, you should freak out a little bit, but so long as they don't run over your telephone line or something like that in the process, don't worry about it a whole lot. Stay inside until you see who gets out. If they look pretty much like us, 99% of the time, you're going to see good ones. The reason I say that is the good ones and the bad ones have had a little bit of a tussle, and they have, the bad guys basically have lost all but a couple of ships that they are hiding because they're losing what they're doing. They are looking for an escape, just like the bad guys right now are looking for an escape. They're running around. They found that we've got agreements with all the governments just about on the planet that we can come get them, period. So there's no place to hide. Then you come along with an extraordinary man by the name of Neil Keenan, who cuts their finances off at the knees. And then you've got people like me who got more guts for brains than better sense, and get on the phone, on the radio, and say, "Hey man, y'all got a problem." And you hear this little, "What problem is that?" 300 million of us disagree. So yeah, you got good ones and bad ones. They've been working with both sides since forever. The bad ETs helping build the underground tunnel systems you heard rumors of. Those are real. There are several of the used to be command centers that are inside of mountains that you can go look at. One of those being Crystal Palace, as it was called, or the War Room. That should pretty much cover it.
Well, I guess the thing that I'm concerned about is if we get an evidence that we can share with other people. I mean, I can go out and stand on the street corner and share this with people, and pretty soon there's going to be a truck come up and some guys come out with a white jacket. I'm just, I'm looking for an evidence that we can show, or will that be something that's going to take care of itself in the next week or two?
Well, I don't know how soon exactly, but yes, it's been promised that they will take care of the problems. as far as going out there and hollering ETs, I don't think that's a good idea. Not at this point. There's going to be a limited introduction to specific select people in the very near future. I'm not going to say exactly when. This will be announced individually to these individual people. You will be meeting an ET of some standing who will work with you in a lot of different ways. Some of that will be communications that we don't have to worry about. Some of that will be release of technology so we can get busy with the duties we've got. Another one will be offering to escort you to go talk to our military and say, did you get the letter? I would be ever hopeful that, I'd like to ride in one of those saucers anyway, but I'd be ever hopeful that it would be possible for either the military to come visit or have an escort of my own choosing accompany me to make a visit there. I've told military command that anytime they really feel it necessary, they can either drive over here or they can land in the front yard. They've got the coordinates. Both good guys and the bad guys have been here in choppers. They like to shine lights in your window in the middle of the night, see what you're up to, whether you got gun turrets in the attic, stuff like that. So that's basically what you got to look at. What I'm looking for is a simple something that I can give out to everybody that it's time. I'd love to make an announcement that there is a green light situation. That has not happened yet. As soon as they were to give me word that it is, then we'd coordinate, find out what it takes for them to make sure that they're clear and ready to go. Then we go on public, open broadcast. All the news stations, things like that, are going to be zapped. That will be the green light for everybody to know that what we are doing as far as our freedom movement has been accepted and is now active. The second part of this will be that there will begin to be landings by ET, the good ones, in varying places. And some places there's going to be some, I would call it tussles. Some people refer to it as a firefight. I would suggest that the bad ETs probably will simply give up. Most of them will be able to be rehabilitated. Those who won't, like I said, are going to be poofed back to the originator. I don't know if that's painful or not. I hope it is. So that's basically the scenario.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much, Buck. And at this point, we have Scott from Thank You White Knights. Hello, Scott. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
How you going?
Good.
Let's see. You must know who I am. I've been posting all your stuff on YouTube for a while. How you going, Drake? Yes. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk.
Yeah, just an Aussie in Florida at the moment. And I'm just wondering what we can do with the Pentagon deadlock. I mean, I know how to shoot a gun. I've been shooting since I was, probably even before I was 10 years old. But I'm not a part of a militia or anything around here, so I don't like to volunteer them to do something I wouldn't like to do. But, I'm just making a suggestion. I don't want to get anyone arrested, but, ultimately this meditation can go so far, but ultimately we need to arrest these guys, don't we? So there's no amount of meditation that's going to make them go and put themselves in cuffs and go and put themselves in jail, is there? So ultimately I'm just volunteering myself, and it's suggesting that would it be a good idea, like, for the militia to possibly say, well, hey, Pentagon, if you're not going to act, we're going to act. We've had it waiting for you guys. You haven't done what you said you're going to do. We can fax them, and give them so much, in faxes and trying to get them to move. But ultimately, what about if we come up? I'm just suggesting, what if the militia come up with like a deadline, like by the end of the